Hello everyone, my name is Sheen and welcome back to Beauty of Nature Park and Zoo, Thailand. Today I share a bit behind the scenes with you. The new manager wanted to get our social media presence up to date, so I will share new things every now and then. Today we are looking at the building process for the sun bear habitat. Well, at least most of it. You see, the new manager only arrived after the building already started, so we don't have footage on how they assembled the temple for the sun bears. Well, anyway, the goal of our cooperation is to show the fauna of Thailand, all while providing a park where you can relax and take a stroll. To make this happen, we make sure to have little parks spotted throughout the compound. The whole park is surrounded with a rainforest, which we made sure to only deforest where absolutely necessary. This also provides a quiet atmosphere where the only thing you hear will be the sound of nature. Bringing the focus back to the sun bear habitat, the first thing that was done were the barriers that separates the animals from the guests. It was very important to us that the barrier would be as natural as it could be. So we opted for metal beams that got covered to look like tree branches. We planted a lot of foliage in between these branches to make them look more natural. This way, the bears could not escape and the guests cannot look inside the habitat. For the viewing areas, we made glass windows. We have a total of 9 viewing windows. One of them lets you take a look at their sleeping den. The layout for the sun bears is something different. They have a little hill in their habitat which separates the two sides. Only a narrow strip is providing them with a way to go from one side to the other. Of course, that is where 2 of our viewing windows are placed. Speaking of the architecture of our zoo, you maybe have heard about a little problem regarding the originality of our cloud temple. The cloud temple is our habitat for the clouded leopard and the mute swan. Turns out, the architect who made the cloud temple also submitted his temple to another zoo, the Community Zoo 2 by Günther's Gaming. Our lawyers were not that thrilled about it, but we managed to settle the problem outside of court. Actually, this is the reason for our new management. Believe it or not, the shareholders were not thrilled about that, and they kicked the older manager out. He didn't even have time to grab his favorite mug. Like, come on, if I ever get fired, I am not walking out of my office without my mug collection. Anyway, let's get back to business, shall we? You can see now how they assembled the barrier and the viewing windows. They put a lot of effort and money into making sure it looks organic and natural. And to be fair, the effort really paid off here. Now they started making the little den area for our sun bears. It is situated right next to the beautiful temple. What is your favorite temple in Beauty of Nature Park and Zoo, Thailand? The one from the Cloud Temple, the barn for the water buffaloes and tapirs, or the one for the sun bears? Tell me in the comments. Oh my god, I always wanted to say that. That's so cool. Okay, now business. Let's get back to business. Now you can see the making of the little cave and the hill that was arranged for it. Honestly, it's just a bunch of rocks, but who am I to judge? If the bears love it, so do I guess. Lots and lots of rocks. Like, I remember how often the workers needed to go from one point to another to get all the rocks here. It took 3 days just to get them all there. And then the right arrangement in the habitat took another 2 days. We also had a huge shipment of plants arrive. The gardeners went above and beyond to make sure the habitat looked more alive and more like the surrounding rainforest. Honestly, I asked them why they don't use the plants from the rainforest, but they said it had something to do with the environment and not disturbing nature. I still think it would have been better and easier and cheaper just to take the ones that were already there, but what do I know? I am just here to tell you about the process of making this habitat. And now we are getting to the little temple piles that we bought. These are individual stones that were glued together to look like crumbled temple pieces. We have a few of them in different colors and I am certain you will see them a lot throughout our park. It is a beautiful way to give the rainforest a bit more depth in terms of history. And the park is getting some nice looking areas that feel like you are in the real wild jungle, all while being in a safe environment. Now is the time to think more about the bears and how they would traverse the habitat. At first a few ideas for a hanging mat were thrown around, but they were abandoned in the end. It was decided that they would have multiple climbing areas throughout the habitat with a way to climb the top of the hill without walking on the hill. The toys for the bears were strategically planted where the guest viewing areas are so that you would always be guaranteed to see the bears. After that, we planted a few huge trees to make the habitat fit more into the surrounding rainforest. And we made the keeper's doors into a little wall out of leftover temple pieces. It fits quite nicely there, don't you think? Then it was time to make the cave for the bears a little more presentable by putting rocks and leaves for them to sleep on in there. At last, the viewing area was made bear-proof with lots of plants so the bears would not be able to jump down from the hill. And that is all I have for you today. Enjoy the rest of the video and enjoy the cinematics at the end. I hope you enjoyed the little behind the scenes look I got for you, and we'll see each other in the next video. Bye!